Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Galactic Goddess TV. This is Rada, and today we're diving deep. You know, it's been on my heart to share with you ways that you can protect yourself, ways that the beautiful souls who get hijacked mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually by these demonic violent, energetic vampires and narcissists and these dark ones who have basically forfeited their connection to the divine because they had free will to begin with. Therefore, they had free will to be in divine connection with source. And so everyone is born with connection to source. It's just a natural part of coming into this world. We are all given that gift. Many people that have gone through abuse and ritual sacrifice have had to go through experiences where their energy has been kind of messed with in a way where they were indoctrinated into things that they had no say over. But I want to talk about like what is going on in this world because so many beautiful souls are getting hijacked. They wonder why they keep they work so hard and they don't get ahead. They wonder why they have pure hearts and go into a relationship with good faith and a pure heart and lots of love and they get drained and their heart gets destroyed. Why do they have friends who suddenly end up looking like them or start taking on their traits, start taking on their success, start taking on their careers or their whatever they have that is their own superpower. We've seen how, Selena is a great example of like a destiny swap where the woman that was working so closely with Selena pretended to be her friend, pretended to care about her, but she was secretly stealing from her. She was secretly jealous of her. She was secretly envious because Selena was a natural light. She was in divine source. She hadn't been corrupted, but this woman's heart was corrupt. It was dark. It was black. She may or may not have been satanic, but her heart was black. Her heart was serving the dark. It wasn't serving the light. Her envy was so jealous. And like she was so jealous that she wanted to destroy this person. And she did. And she did. She killed her. And, she felt that if she could destroy her, she could absorb all the light that she had. But look what happened. She ended up going to jail, and nobody will ever like her again. Okay, so she didn't get that light. She didn't get that joy. Um, Her narcissistic rage and narcissistic jealousy destroyed her. But I want you to think about how many times you have people in your life, and they can be even family, people that are close to you, people that trust you, people like my cousin who I loved, who I took care of, who I nurtured, who I nourished, who I gave the clothes off my back, who I supported, who I lifted up, who I sent even love letters of support to, who I spoke greatly upon, introduced her to everyone I knew, and lifted her to the highest heights that I could. And only for her to be so jealous of my light. Not that I was doing anything to her, going around, creating, joining the secret society so she could get into power because all she wanted was power, and that I would be her sacrifice, that she tried to sell my soul as a sacrifice, use it and as collateral. Okay, so people try to do this behind your back, and they try to sacrifice you and your soul behind your back. This is not everybody, okay? But this is intense spiritual warfare. This is something that I have had to go through personally. My whole life, people have done this to me, even one of my caregivers, like this. And then so I have to go back and I have to trace back and I have to reverse this stuff. You cannot let this go on because these beings, they intentionally create wounding inside of you. So you wonder, why why is that person doing this when all I did was love and support them? And it's very simple. The reason why they do it is because they don't get their energy. They can't manifest on their own. So they need your light. They need your energy. They need your manifesting ability because you're connected to source still to create what they want to create. And so they're willing to go at any lengths. I mean, it's taken me a long time to accept this, but once I did, the truth will set you free. And it really will. I think that so many people want to play pretend and push this stuff under the rug. But I'm talking to the person that has been through spiritual warfare, who knows that they have been, who knows that they've been targeted, who knows that these people, because it's not just one person involved. They're so lame and they're so pathetic that they usually rally up groups of other lame, pathetic people who have no conscience, you know, no connection to source, no intuition. Because if they had intuition, they wouldn't you don't just attack people that you don't know. You don't like you're giving up your life by doing that. You're giving up your life. You're giving up your rights. When you do this, when you go against innocent people who are minding their own business, staying in their own lane, and you need an army of people to come against one person, literally staying at home, doing their work, minding their business, like, wow. To me, it only showed me that my purpose is great. Because why would these people, including Dane and his army and these occults, come after me in the way they have? And a little bit about my backstory that also Dane has been on my tail for a long time. And he is somebody that I will have to do a separate segment about because he sent in the troops to come after me. I couldn't even live in LA without him always having guys peeking into my place, putting hidden cameras, stealing my lingerie, stealing my underwear, stealing my jewelry, stealing everything that they could from me. And then that he had somebody come out and crash into my brand new Prius that I had paid off in full because I thought at that time it was good for my credit. So it was completely paid off. It was in the middle of the night. I heard the loudest crash. And immediately, I was not thinking of him. He came to my mind, and I ran out. And there was a man. He was actually an immigrant because he couldn't speak English. He didn't have a driver's license. He didn't have any documents. And he was like drugged up. And then I called the police. But guess what? 1 minute later, a woman drives up and pulls him out of the car, puts him in her car, and drives off. So he never had to um, be accountable for this. This was never resolved. My insurance company made me pay for it because I had paid the whole thing off. So they basically said, "Well, too bad. That's your loss." So this person, Dane, he has been coming into my life. He sent people in to steal my bags, to steal my phones, to steal my computers. I mean, he went so far to do this. He put people in my seat in the plane, and so I thought I would be there was a guy sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sitting here. This is my seat. You're behind me." And then I was like, "No, this is my seat." But I didn't argue. I just ended up going in the back behind him, put my stuff up above, and then what ended up happening is then he said, "Oh no, actually that's my seat." So he wanted to switch with me. So he switched, but I already had my carry-on up above. And so he went into my carry-on and stole my computer. And he's been stealing my devices. He's probably stole 5 or 6 of my computers and 5 or 6 of my phones, my bags, my jewelry, my underwear, all kinds of stuff because he has the means to do so because he has wealth and he has a whole entire coven that he works with. He's part of that secret society. So he can hack any device, do anything, like that. And so whenever I've traveled, he's always had people come to rip my car open, even if I locked it, and open even the sunroof. He wanted to show me I'm in control over you. You have no rights. You need to just give up and surrender to me. You're gonna fall and obey because he already told me that's what he wanted. So of course, that's a no. I said, no, you're going to throw me to the sharks. I'm not. And that infuriated him. That caused him to start World War III on one single woman who is just trying to do her thing, make art, make books, do creativity. He sent an army against me. And I'm actually, there's part of me that's like, this was so wrong, what you've done. But at the same time, I'm also grateful because guess what? He made me powerful. He made me strong. He didn't make me strong. I, God, Source, made me strong. Don't get that twisted. He didn't make me strong. He threw obstacles that would push me beyond any of my limits. They were doing energetic vampirism. So energetic, um, it's the red stuff, like the blood stuff. So energetically feeding off my energy, my light, my blood. Because he had things in mind that he stole. So he was tagging me to them. Again, this is not stuff that I studied. I had to get initiated with the divine by going through this warfare myself. And I'm really passionate about helping others because this is not okay. Listen, it's one thing if you choose with your own free will to give up your connection to the divine, but it's another thing if you decide you see a juicy person who's full of light and happiness and just you decide you're going to hijack their entire life and sacrifice them because you need to feed. That's not my problem. That's not my responsibility. And I do not consent to that. So I've had a lot of experiences. Also, like he would send people to come all the way up to my property in North Carolina in the middle of the woods. There's a retreat center close by, and he recently had this woman that was at the retreat, but as soon as I went out to walk on the main road, she came running up to me, like, and I mean at the speed of light up the hill. And so I chatted with her. She had all the jargon of spirituality, talked about YouTube videos, but so we exchanged information and it was for a different purpose that I'm not going to share here, but anyhow, the point is that she immediately is like, "Hey, I want you to come over to my house and have dinner and then we can go walk into the woods together." And I'm like, at first, I didn't think anything of it because I don't want to think like that. Like really, I keep my heart open. I've always had my heart open, and that's one thing they want to destroy is like your heart, your belief in others. So I kept my heart open, but then I got this funky feeling like, wait a minute, this woman wants me to come over like right away. Like, there's steps to getting to know somebody. You might want to meet them at a coffee shop or go, you're not just going to go to their house and eat their food right away because you guys, I've been poisoned before by my own cousin. So I can't just do that. You have to get to know somebody. There are steps to get to know somebody, and she wanted to just get me into the woods with her. And I'm like, I already live in the woods. I don't need to go to your woods, to go hang out in your side of the woods. I already have the woods everywhere I go. And so, um, I started getting a weird feeling, and then I got sick, and then I told her, I'm sorry, but I'm sick right now. And then she didn't even give me like 2 days to process my cold. And she's like, "Are you okay now, goddess? Are you ready?" And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, why are you in such a hurry? And so I muscle tested and And I realized that no, she was sent in to infiltrate because they used to send in, like when I was trying to date, they would send in guys to do this, right? But then I realized that I can't ever like date the traditional way. I'm not going to go on a dating app or any of that because they have all the apps and stuff, so they know when I was on a dating app and they would send in these guys and they were pure demonic. And so I want to explain like why they do this. So sometimes they would send in people to break your heart, okay? To break your spirit. And why would they do that? Why do they need to steal from you? Well, they steal from you for multiple reasons. Number one, because that is your intellectual property, because on your computer you have all your ideas, you have all your contacts, you have everything that's important to you, even your banking systems and stuff, and all your passcodes. And so once they can hack that, they can access everything in your life. And that's what they want to do. They want to play God in your life. If they're coming at you to this degree that I'm talking about. And so what they do is they will get to know every single person that you're friends with. And I've had most all my friends have been approached to be bribed to come against me. And many of them have. Okay, so I am aware that that's happened. And I don't need to confront my friends because all I have to do is cut the cord and pull away. They know in their heart and soul what they've done, and that's not something they get away with. I don't need to punish them because they betrayed themselves. They betrayed their own soul. When you start betraying others for money, you are actually betraying your own soul, okay? You're just spitting on yourself, and you know how rare it is to find good friends, real friends, true people these days that can't be bribed. I found that most people can be bribed, not because I've done it, because I've had most people that have I've known for a long time. They've been bribed. A lot of them have been bribed. And they were easy to say yes. And they kind of want to apologize. They feel extremely guilty. For example, one of my friends that I've known for like 20 years tricked me when I went to Italy. And she's like, I need to stay at your house. I need to stay at your place in Hollywood. And it was weird because she has her own place in Hollywood, but she made some crazy excuse and was bugging me and bugging me. And I was foolish and naive, and I let her because I trusted her because I've stayed at her place before. But what she did is she set me up so that Dane could come and his people could come and completely rob me and take all of my very sacred tools, my jewelry, everything. And so um it was shocking. It was shocking, but I knew because we had gone to a show of his, and so she had met him there because anyways, they exchanged information. So that she was already, I think what happened is she tried to date him and he was probably leading her on, and then he probably invited her to join, and it led to me being completely robbed. And so I was devastated. I could never trust her again. Okay, so she's a guilty person because she's still friends with me on Facebook and Instagram and comments sometimes on my stuff, but I can't be bothered. Like people know what they do in their hearts. That they know. They know they effed up. They know that they violated. But here's the problem. It doesn't matter because it's one thing to do stuff, to yourself, but it's another thing when you start ganging up on one person and you do it for year after year, day after day, and they do it to wear you down. They do it to exhaust you, to fatigue you. They need to create punctures and wounds in you so they can continue to siphon and steal. So, anyhow, Maya the shaman and I have been working together to create these amazing decrees, and I want to share this with you. Okay, this is not just for me. I feel like I lived these experiences so I can share and help others. I know there are so many others out there that have felt like tormented, gang stalked, like I can't, like, if I go to a store in 2 to 5 minutes, there will be somebody there or a group of people that just follow me around, and they even take pictures of me and video. I'm like, okay, like I just laugh because at this point it's stupid. I'm not afraid of them. They're absolute losers. And I think like in what situation would I do that stupid shit that they do? And that would be never. Okay, so I would never go around and follow somebody and stalk them. Like stalking is pathetic. So but they do it because they want to steal. They want to steal your energy. They want to make you feel like a trapped animal. Like, oh no, like somebody's always following me. Well, go ahead. If you want to waste your resources doing that, please be my guest. But you're not stealing my energy. You're not stealing my life force. You're not stealing anything that belongs to me, and anything you've stolen from me must come back to me, or there are consequences on the energetic level. You have no idea what's coming. And just because you've gotten away with it for such a long amount of time does not mean the towers are not coming in. And no, you cannot offset your bad karma and your crimes against humanity onto me. I do not consent and I do not agree. So, beautiful souls, this is for you. Maya and I wrote this, and we are so excited to share this decree of divine judgment and irrevocable restitution for total annihilation of all black magic, voodoo, inversions, and false interference. There is no reversals, no mercy, and no more delay. And so I'm just going to take a moment and take a deep breath, and you can go ahead and just relax. You can lay down and close your eyes if you want. And I ask that we brought into the Creator's court for judgment. I rise now not as a seeker, but as a sovereign. I speak now not as a victim, but the living flame of Creator's justice. This is my final word. This is a blade that cuts through all dimensions, time, space, and history. Past, present, future, and parallel lifetimes are all being judged with these characters. I am calling in all perpetrators now, all of those that have gathered in the dark to come against me, to come against others, to steal, to siphon, to hijack, to try to dump their karma onto me or others who've tried to do destiny swaps by the supreme authority of true living creator. Not the imposters, not the fallen gods, not the fallen angels, not the deceivers cloaked in light. I issue this judgment, non-reversible and eternal decree. All black magic is hereby reversed. All curses are hereby lifted and returned. All perpetrators are hereby charged with crimes against me and humanity. All destiny swaps are reversed. And this judgment is sealed by the throne of the seraphim and carried out across all timelines, dimensions, realms, and shadows. Let all who have trespassed now be held to the fire. To the black magicians, witches, warlocks, voodoo priests, false light priestesses, reversal engineers, soul traffickers, energy traffickers, astral handlers, bloodline hijackers, and the dark AI networks. You are found guilty as charged. Your rituals were not hidden. Your intentions are not secret. The Creator saw every chant, every symbol, every blood offering, every whisper of malice sent my way. You violated sacred law. You interfered with divine will. You weaponized your gifts against the innocent. And now you are sentenced. This will not delay. You will not delay this decree. You will not distort it. You will not reverse it. Every act of darkness now recoils. Every altar collapses. Every timeline you tampered with is now realigned with the divine. You stood against Creator's child. Now you stand before Creator's court. To every spell, curse, hex, voodoo, rite, mirror trap, jar, doll, rope, nail, knot, blood, photo binding, hair ritual, and ancestral curse, I command complete reversal. Times 10. I remove my essence from all your rituals, from all that you have stolen from me, from my clothes, my items, from every aspect of my being. I withdraw my name from all contracts you made on my behalf. I extract my soul light from every item. My energy is now lifted and returned to me, the rightful owner. Cleansed, cleared, purified, deactivated, decontaminated. You may not steal from me ever again. Your jar spells break, your altars burn, your demons scatter and go against you. Your reversal codes collapse. You may not transfer what's owed. You may not pay with another soul. Every part of this karma is yours and yours alone. Every item that held my energy in jars, photos, not stalls, is now filled with your energy. Your darkness returns to its source. You are bound by your own spell. You are consumed by your own demon. You are trapped in the reversal you created, not me. You tried to lock me. You only locked yourself. You tried to delay me. You only delayed your own salvation. This is irreversible, non-negotiable, and non-transferable. To all those listening now, whether in body, spirit, astral, or behind false names, you are bound by this decree. If you tune in to spy on me, mimic, reverse, or steal, you are instantly judged. All your rights are revoked. Your karmic debt is active. Your signature is logged into Creator's Court now and through all of eternity, past, present, future, and parallel lifetimes in every dimension. Your karma is being served. Every attempt to interfere rebounds with force times 10. Every step you take in my field becomes your own spiritual trap. You may no longer cloak yourself. You may no longer delay your fate. You may no longer pretend that you were not involved. Your soul knows what it did. I call upon the true living creator of all that is, source of all light, flame of all origin. I ask to be seen, heard, and restored in your court. Not as one who begs, but the one who stands in alignment with your eternal flame. I bring evidence. Lifetimes of interference, karmic injustice enacted through sorcery, timeline hijacking and inversion, thievery of divine soul essence and identity, soul fragmentation via black rituals, joy, love, peace, opportunities, and wealth stolen. I return these to the altar of truth and ask that only the scales be balanced. Let the weight fall now. By the Creator's hand, by the thrones of the seraphim, I declare, my energy is restored to 100% before these beings ever tried to hijack me. My gifts activated, my timeline corrected, my soul is whole, my destiny is sealed in light, my relationships, body, wealth, and voice are purified and returned in whole. I accept only divine alignment. I reject all imposters. I banish all interference. Let every echo of me that was hijacked now come home. To the perpetrators, your rituals are void. Your contracts are burned. Your karmic shields are shattered. Your names are echoed into the book of justice. You cannot run. You cannot reverse. You cannot substitute another. You are now living in the world you built for others. I call upon the seraphim of purest light. Seal this decree in divine fire. Guard it from distortion. Enforce it without mercy. Reignite my sovereign field with holy flame. From this moment forward, I cannot be bound. I cannot be reversed. I cannot be cloned or mimicked. I cannot be siphoned. I cannot be cursed. I cannot be targeted. I cannot be stolen from. I am shielded by the word of the divine creator. I am the living flame. I am the untouchable one. Let this be written in all realms. Let it be sealed in all records. Let this echo in every corner of creation. Thank you, Creator of all that is, so it shall be, so it always was. Anchor, lock and seal, rental done. Oh, beautiful souls. I know that was a lot and that was intense. Now, when you hear it, don't think it's I. If you did nothing to perpetrate another, then simply just say yes to receive this as your own, meaning that it's going to start running into your system and it's going to start sending out the command of justice into your field, into your life. Okay? We wrote this and we created this for you as well because we want you to be free. You don't deserve to be used, abused, hijacked, or stolen from. Only the truth will set you free. And nobody said the truth would be pleasant, would be pretty, would be wrapped in light and love because the Creator allowed these things to happen because the Creator knew that starseeds and living angels are here on earth. It is up to us to call judgment. We cannot beg and wait for another day through our prayers of begging don't work. You have to make the command. This is your divine right, and you are loved, and you are whole, and you are complete. I wish you nothing but peace and love, prosperity, good health on your journey for those that are on your divine path. And for those that continue to try to steal and siphon and destroy people's lives because you can't access your source code, just remember one thing. At any time that you choose, you can access source code. You can access creator, and that is not by hijacking and plugging into people like me as a power socket. I'm no longer available for that, and I was never available for that. And I'm now charging. If you attempt to do so, you will find all your gifts and talents being taken from you because God, source, creator, is no longer accepting it. That is not my will. That's the will of the divine. It's just unacceptable. Moving forward, you can't plug into people and take. You will find that you lose everything by doing so, and all of your karma is being activated. So, reconsider and think about connecting back to source creator energy. Think of the purity before all of this trading in your divinity for the dark, which you know is unsustainable because you have to make sacrifices all the time, but not on my watch and not for me, not for my home, not on my life, not on my career, not on my health, not on my wealth, and not on my happiness, not on my relationships. No more. I have had to lose relationships because of this black, darkness that has been sent to me. I've lost relationships. I lost my baby because of this. And now you're being charged in full for all these losses. And it's never going to happen again because I command and I decree. And we no longer have to be the victims or the targets of these dark beings. They're going to have to learn. It's kind of like, you know, they have to learn to fish on their own. They can't be fishing off of our energy and our connection to the divine. That's no longer viable. I will be talking more about energy trafficking because it's a big thing that goes on. And this entire group has been trying to traffic my energy to them. Not just them, but even my cousin's been trying to sell my energy to others. This is all going to fall on its head. This is unacceptable. And it's been seen. God will show you, Creator, Source, the divine will show you what's being done. I kept asking, Creator, what is going on? What is going on? I had to see things I didn't want to see. I had to see behind the veil into what's been going on with my energy, with my timeline, with what's been happening. Why has this stuff been happening? Because it's unbelievable. And I haven't even told you the all of it, but that's not the point. The point is that this can't happen, not for me, but for all humanity. Enough is enough. Get a grip. Connect back to source. Yeah, you gave your oath to the dark, but now you better turn to the light if you want to exist, because the dark is not going to support you. The dark in the end is going to turn on you, take you, eat your soul. I've seen it. So please Be careful. And you can make wrongs right. You can make wrongs right by returning what was stolen, by cancel clearing, deleting all of your dark magic, by repaying the people that you actually stole from financially, by not contributing to this, because it doesn't matter if you're just like a spy or a gang stalker on the side, you're still an affiliate and you're still being charged in full. So you have given your energy and your commitment to all this dark nefarious stuff, and now you will be held to it because we, you got to understand, like most of you do know we're at the end of Kali Yuga, so you're the occultist, you must know what that means, that all the scales are being balanced and reset, and that your karma is being served back to you and only you. You can't trade it off. All of these kind of wicked things that you were able to get away with used to work because the energy supported that. But now, as we move into Satya Yuga and we're moving into a new cycle, that stuff isn't working anymore. You're going crazy doing it over and over and over and over again. I almost have like an alert bell inside of me that like tells me when this is happening. And I'm just hearing ding, ding, ding. It's like, okay, it's pathetic. Like, get a grip. It's not going to happen ever. And anything that you built upon my energy or anybody else's is collapsing. Have you noticed that? Because if you haven't, pay attention. And no, you can't do shut up spells on me or anybody else because this is what the creator wanted me to share this today. This is not just about me. This is about those that have suffered silently, who have had no refuge, who have had nowhere to go, who have been the victims of these perpetrators who use everything from technology to entire gangs to gang stalkers. I mean, it's sad and pathetic. Think about it. Don't you think that's sad and pathetic that you decide to come against one person, that you're chasing down their whole life, destroying, you're trying to bring tower after tower after tower into their life so they can feed you their, you can loosh them, you can take their light, you can take their pain. You don't care if it's light or pain, it tastes good to you either way. Um, so if you've become a vampire because you have cut off your own lifeline, that was your own doing. Don't blame others for your decisions. You need to take responsibility. You need to change because I am telling you, even with love in my heart, and this is not a message that's filled with hate. Yeah, it's powerful because it is powerful because I'm saying F no. You're not doing this. But it's also powerful because it's a powerful opportunity for you to get it right. You know that after this incarnation, you have to keep, you're going to go into thousands and thousands of lifetimes. You have to pay back this karma. Like there's no freebies here. You give what you put out, you get back. And all of it's recorded. You can go and try to mess with the Akashic records, but no, you can't. You can't hijack the infinite cosmic records. It's anchored, locked, and sealed. Only the creator can do that. Okay, so I mean, I got this message such a long time ago, and I didn't even want to say it, but the message was so clear. And when I got the message, my heart was full of love, okay? Because the message was for the ones in the dark. It's time for you to rehabilitate. If you don't, you're not going to survive this. There's so much light coming onto Earth. It doesn't matter how much the skies are sprayed and covered in full because the light is beyond just that. It's plasma light, divine intelligence, and it's activating everything. It's speeding up everything. Don't you notice the days go by faster? Don't you understand that those dark places that you go to do this stuff is the eye of God is there watching? Everything you do is recorded. Everything you've done is recorded. There's no getting away with it. The truth is the truth, and it will set you free. You must not give in. There are ways that you can break your contracts and reclaim your soul, but you will have to do the work. And the problem is, most of you are lazy and kind of narcissistic, and so you tend to not want to do the work. You just want the pleasure, 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 pleasure. That's what you guys are obsessed with. But what's going to happen when all your pleasure is taken like P. Diddy? Because that kind of thing is happening in spiritual court right now. And even if the corrupt system was to set him free, even if he was free, like he's already been marked in the justice system of the creator, as you have been too. Okay, there's no getting away or around this. This is not my law. I am not the one telling you my law and my truth. This is creator's law. Creator's truth. I'm just the messenger. I know people get pissed at the ones who speak the truth, but you know what? I'm pretty pissed that you guys have been trying to do this to me for so long. And by the way, I do want to say thank you because I was heartbroken over my last relationship that you guys interfered with and destroyed. But after much reflection, I realized that it wasn't the one for me. That the person was so weak mentally and emotionally, I could never have a partner like that. And it saved me so much time, energy, money, and all my resources. So thank you for that. I know you thought you broke my soul, and you probably did get to feast a little or a lot at that moment. But since that happened, it also woke me up to what's been going on behind the scenes because I asked God, why does this happen? Why is it every time I find somebody that I feel is a match? You know, there's this interference. Well, my cousin told me straight out, no, that she was against me having the love of my life, and that she was doing all she could to block my true love. So I know that like the person I'm meant to be with will be so strong, so powerful, will have a strong mind and unshakable mind that your little voodoo doesn't work because it doesn't work on me anymore. And so you've just raised my bar. So thank you for that. Um, and everything that you stole, you know, you will be paying back. Even if you don't consent or think you will, the law, the law of justice says otherwise. You will. So watch out for that. And also, if you want to pay me back and do it the right way, you will be forgiven and you won't have to pay as much. But if you keep running in your narcissistic consciousness and continue to evade um, paying me back for what you've stolen, then guess what? The charges just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And that's not on me, that's creator. That's what I was told. It doesn't stop. That's even more lifetimes of suffering, more lifetimes. And I know that you think you're going to kind of just run away and be like, oh, I'm just going to transfer myself into another clone and I'm just going to get away from all my karma. And that's like the whole mindset of you guys right now. But you don't understand like when the light comes and yeah, like there are some possibilities of that happening. Like if it's divine, like if something needs to happen or a body isn't good, like there will be technologies. But if you're like a dark soul, you won't be able to do that. So basically, you know, this stuff will be reserved for the ones who walk the path of the divine, okay? And that's not to say the path of divine is perfect, and I never said I was perfect because I'm not. I made so many mistakes in my life. I mean, I was so unconscious and I was so MK Ultra that I had no idea for a long time what was going on. And that was painful too. So it wasn't like it was pain free by not knowing what was going on and being ignorant. And it's that painful awakening that breaks you open. And it hurts, you know, it hurts. It hurts when all you've known is darkness and you start to open to the light. and it hurts, but not for long. It just hurts a little bit, and you find some pieces and parts of you dying, literally dying, and yeah, that hurts, but you got to learn to love yourself more. So I had to love myself through the process. Like I had to support myself and be friends with myself. I feel really happy with my own company now. Like if I had been on that same trajectory and codependent, I would have not. But I found that my connection with Creator, my connection with myself, my higher self, with the angels, it's really satisfying. And that's not something anybody can stop or block or, you know, you guys can't transfer that to you. You guys have to like earn it. Okay? Stop trying to steal stuff. That's pathetic. Losers steal, winners earn. Okay? So if you want to be a winner, you got to earn your right to the light. It is your divine right, but you got to earn it because you've done a lot of shitty things to a lot of people. And you have to understand you got to pay for that. Like you can't just get away from it. So you got to be humble and get over your narcissistic ways. Like I know that seems almost impossible, but there's two ways of going about it. You can just keep being narcissistic and be like, "No, I'm above it all," and oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Well, I told you Hollywood was going to change in Awakening Starseeds Volume 3, didn't I? You guys laughed at me and, probably said that I was nuts or whatever. Well, look what's happening. There's a lot of court dates for a lot of people in Hollywood who had the biggest positions. So, yeah, I'm not really wrong about that. Um, so go ahead and do what's best for you, but you're no longer going to be taking from me. And you need to stop that habit. It's a bad habit. Getting your energy through sacrifice isn't going to make your dreams come true anymore, just letting you know. And it's not just me, but it's like ordained by the divine that everything you've done will collapse where you built on other people's energy, okay? So think about rerouting and you have free will, so do as you wish, but you're not doing it to me, okay? So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day. And until next time, bye for now.